Welcome back once again, Aries, to my YouTube channel. Hope you're enjoying the posts. We'll go straight into your reading for the week ahead. Now, as we go to the left-hand side bottom card again, Aries, you will see that we have the heart. So to me, that's relevant that you've been suffering with a little bit of well, we call it stabbing in the heart, as you can see there. So past hurts. That's been arising, but I like this side because it's your left and I can refer to your past. So you've had a lot of heartache regarding your past situations within relationship or in hurt where people around you have hurt and you've not always seen the same things as others. You've always fought, but also you had to fight your corner, but you've also took some hits. Can see that. Now we can see the High Priestess. Now when the High Priestess shows up, it's showing that it's the two. It's about making decisions. And this is what you've got to do. You've got to kind of safeguard your own inner ambitions, because this card relates to your intuition and having a very strong intuition when something doesn't feel right. And you've seen it's carried you in your past. You've seen where you've been hurt, but you've been guided by your own intuition. Now that means I was in the strength and the unity together, because that's what the High Priestess, she does. She's very good. And also, you don't share everything with everyone else. You can actually hold your past hurts inwardly. And that's why I think the heart and the High Priestess sit side by side. The Ace of Wands is in there for you now. Now the Ace of Wands relates to new work or new beginnings where work is concerned. So I expect some new changes around your work coming in there. Now it doesn't have to be brand new work, but it can be changes around your work situation. You're very skillful, you're very good at what you do, and you like to show your abilities to others. And what you've created in your work sense, you can show off your skills to others because you've worked really hard to be where you are. And although I feel really, really very, very skillful and very deserve of what you've worked for, I see that sometimes it's put you really in a nightmare where, you've overthink things, you go deep into things. But it's about coming through this now and realising that some of the things, if you look back, you've wasted your energy worrying about them because they've not turned out half as bad as they appear to be. So you've always come through. Even though you've been wounded, you've been deeply hurt, you've always managed somehow to kind of put things aside. But it's about getting some rest now from past emotions, past situations that have been dragging you down and leaving you with sleepless nights. So let's get it away from you now and know that things won't appear as bad as you've built them up. I want you to know that you can come through your obstacles, that you're guided through them. And as I'm guiding you through now, I feel like I said, you'll stand your ground. You're not quite there yet. You're still going back to that little bit of a nightmare about your past situations that you just know you need to deal with. So you'll stand your ground, but most of them you've worked through. And I feel like you've got to rise above your past. Now, that Judgment card at the top side showing you that it's past memories and it's past situations you've got to deal with. You can't kind of just keep burying them and just making them build up into this nightmare. You've got to deal with them and, judge the situation, but not too harshly, not too much upon yourself, and don't place too much upon your shoulders. Work-wise, I feel absolutely amazing because I see that you're able to show your skills to others and you can lead your team. So you get much leadership areas in this reading for this week coming along. It's showing you that sticking to what you know, showing your abilities, and really, people will look up and admire you. And sometimes, work can take us in directions that we're not prepared for. But I believe that you will put you back to certain emotions, and it's really, really hard to turn you back to people that either we love, or whether it's within relationship, with family, or to move forward. It can be very difficult, but sometimes we have to do this in order to get to the new. Saying goodbye to maybe within work sense and moving towards the new that's coming in for us can be very tough, because we get used to and get familiar and we like settled in what we do. So it can be a little bit of a nightmare there going off. I'm going to take you to the middle section now for the Here and Now cards. Now, that's the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands, again, is looking up. So it's showing you a direction that's looking up. Even though you're worrying, we're taking you up that step. So work-wise, there's definitely something coming in to change you. I'm going to divert you back to the card at the very back there that shows the Empress. Now, she's always nurturer of ideas. She brings new things forward. So that's why that card's reflecting everything within a work sense coming to you new. But people are seeing you out, the qualities that you've got around you, and the ability to see the strength in the work that you place out there. So that's a wand and it's climbing up. So there's a direction in work, but it's taking you up here. So things are going to start moving there. So she dreams of big ideas, the Empress, but she's got them. She puts them into fusions there. She brings new life to the world. So it's about things bringing you new here. Now, I know the Hangman's there in the middle as well. Now, the Hangman's there to keep you reflection. It's giving you a different way to look at things than you have done in your past. That way, you know, like your Judgment card is there to say to you, look, you're moving away from things you've had to deal with in your past. So it's a different way of looking at things, and it's turning you in another direction. So it's all about moving. To me, this reading for you this week is reflecting on going forward. You will also be in touch with people you haven't seen for a while. That's the card there, but sharing a few memories, very short-lived sometimes, but again, it's sharing them, a little bit of upliftment for you coming in. And so, again, having a little bit of, again, significantly to people you haven't seen for a while, but getting back in touch. So watch where people get back in touch with you also. The top of the cards there is giving me the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight of Pentacles relates to things not moving fast enough. So you might find in this new direction that you're actually going into, that it's very slow moving at the moment. And even though you Aries want to be on the way, you want to be fiery and get to where you're going, you've got to hold back a little bit and know it'll only move as fast as it can move. Things come into motion when they're ready. But significantly, we're going to the arrows in your back. You do have to watch your back, I feel, both physically, mentally, because you can have a little bit of problems within the lower back. On some of you Aries. I know this won't resonate with everybody, but just take out of it what you can, as I've said in your other readings. You know, but it's about backstabbers as well. So people can be a little bit envious of Aries as well. Now, I want you to take to the card that shows me the Wealth card there. So all the moves, even though we feel they're going slowly, will significantly start to move and bring you wealth and profits in there, because it's sticking to what you know, but also you've got loyal people by your side. And that way I feel you're generating the wealth in and around you. The Knight of Pentacles comes forward now to show you, even though I know the Knight of Pentacles at the top is slow, the Knight of Cups is starting to move forward. So you're trotting on there proudly, and you can be very proud when you look back at your journey and just how far you've actually travelled to get to where you want to be here. So you're galloping now. So although you're trotting there along, but galloping nicely along. So the Pentacles are stuck, but the Sun gets to the middle of the right-hand side cards where the proudness starts to come forward. And that's showing your skills and how proud, and it's definitely relating to work is this for you, because it's really showing you that you're skillful. Now, although I've got the 5, now the 5s are always kind of a really difficult card. And I know that it's really, really hard when we have to kind of turn us back here and not face things from our past. So I still think we've got to lay things to rest with you, Aries, about what's been holding you back. What you're judging, you know, you've got to come up with this. It's a resurrection. It begins new things. So don't let the old keep creeping in and not, you know, you look at the heartache, look at what we've lost. And it's a sorrow card. So to me, it's again, because you've got reflection with this, I want to bridge you over the troubled waters. Now, you're going to be quite spoilt for choice here, because Where I see the card with the cups and plenty of them there, all these cups are relating to a lot of choices, but you've got to choose into these cards what you really need, because they're not all suitable for you. So don't try to do everything or try to carry every obstacle around with you. Try to pick what's serving you and what feels really right for you. So that is your intuition, your high priestess there, you see. Then use it, you've got it, and look into things, because things aren't always as good as they appear to be. So just take out and leave the rest behind what serves you on this new journey. You do have the sun. Now that's means some pleasure times coming, and I do think it'll be around family and friends, but particularly family. You've got there coming in with the memories and the sun out for you. So a little bit of getting together there and happy times around, and the sun's there to give you holidays also. Now you do have the two in the partnership. Again, it's reflecting on where that you want to be, the world within you, the world outside of you, the direction and going. So again, go to the inner reflection, but please use your high priestess. She's there in this week's reading for you. And that means powerful intuition of listening to your guidance, because she's going to route you in a direction, but you've just got to trust in that little bit, because you will put your brakes on through your fears, as I see there that you've got the harrows around you. With the Eight of the Swords there. Now, that means you sometimes place your own blindfold on, because you don't want to see or really fear of what might be ahead of you there through the past hurts. But, you know, once we place our ideas and pull from our cups what we need, then we have the opportunity to place a foot on that new pathway and move the restrictions around. But sometimes we feel safe on the path that we are on. So about these changes coming in, have the good times, but do try to break yourself free from your own inner addictions, if you like, to your emotions that you're carrying around with you, because I see that very much on the left side of your cards. So take that from this week's reading. It's about reflecting on the journey forward and the opportunities to go forward, but you've got to really study the road by using intuition of what you want to go on, because she's there to guide us, but you've got to take the blindfold off and start making this route ahead. So I'll leave that with you, Aries. Hope you've enjoyed the reading. Like and subscribe if you have, and then you'll hear about the next post that's coming out. And leave a comment if you feel free to do so. Thank you for listening.